Ah, steam. Who can hate a good steam locomotive? If you do hate steam, you obviously have no soul. You soulless jerks out there. All you modern losers. God, I don't know how you do it. Anyway, more to the point, today's review is going to be about a particular steam locomotive. More specifically, the Cab Forward. They're just freaking sweet. And if you don't own one of these and you're a steam guy, there's something wrong with you, because you probably should. I don't care if you like Eastern Railroads, Mid-Eastern Railroads, Midwestern Railroads, Southern Railroads. It doesn't matter. You should own a Cab Forward just because it's that unique and that awesome. Cab Forward was built some time ago. I don't know when. And it's made by some kind of company. Probably Lima. If not Lima, Alco. Probably not Alco. I have no idea what I'm talking about. If you came here for a detailed review with all sorts of cool facts and stuff about when this engine was built and all sorts of other stuff, you came to the wrong place, because we are not here to talk about that today. But what we are here to talk about is Intermountain's new release of the Cab Forward. Their third run, and in my opinion, the nicest Cab Forward on the market other than a brass model. So kick back, relax, take out that bucket of popcorn, and enjoy the review, guys. We're getting into Intermountain's brand new Cab Forward. This is actually going to be my first unboxing that I've ever done on this channel inside of a review, but I think you guys are going to be really pleased with the review today and what we have in store for you, because this engine has all sorts of cool stuff on it. But yeah, let's go ahead and unbox this sucker. I unfortunately did not have a tripod and have to use my cell phone in order to record this, so I'm going to try to use my hand and my elbow. Oh, right there, yep, there it is. Hand and elbow to open this box, which is probably not going to work. So, the unboxing will probably be somewhat of a fail. Wait, hang on. Just think, if you had one arm, Railroad Kid. If you only had one arm. Hang on. Hold on. Give me a second. You know what? I'm just gonna set you guys down real quick. All right, just enjoy that. Oh, I remember when I got this thing, I was so freaking ecstatic. Yeah, if you want to get one of these, I suggest call my man Scott up from Making Tracks. I got this for about $360 shipped. He's got great deals on his Cab Forwards. Okay, we got some foam hanging up. That's weird. All right, so what you get when you open the box is you get this paperwork. Warranty information, all that cool stuff. Instructions on how to take the tender apart. You could buy, if you're really bold, you can buy one of these Southern Pacific t-shirts and get all the ladies, because you know all the ladies love Cab Forwards. Nothing on the back of that. More instructions. What's interesting, well, actually I had the instructions backwards in the box. Look at that. Okay, so this is going to be your list of DCC functions. Now, unfortunately, this does not tell you how to program the decoder that comes with this engine. The decoder that comes inside of this is a lock sound, not lock. I know everyone thinks it's lock, L-O-K, okay, it's a German company, so they pronounce things funny over there. It's lock sound, okay? And you gotta pronounce it right, too, because it sounds really cool when you say it instead of lock. Like, anybody can say lock, okay? It's lock sound, lock sound. So it's a lock sound decoder, and these instructions do not tell you crap about that. It gives you, like, a couple, oh shit, knocked my engine over. It gives you a couple of, your functions. It tells you, let's see here, gives you the basic features. This is really looks like a list of detail parts. Diamond plate, pattern deck plate open. I have never really even looked at this. So yeah, it's got all sorts of cool stuff, which we'll go over soon. That aside. Yeah, we're going to be going into, I'm going to show you guys how to program this thing, because it actually has 16 different whistles built in, and you can also program the chuff rate, which I will recommend that you do, because it does not come factory stock to 4 chuffs per revolution for both sets of drivers. Anyway, you're going to take the foam out. There's not really much that you get with it, but then again, you don't really need to get much with it because it's so pretty. Now, here's the thing about this engine. It has detail out the yin-yang, as you can see. This thing is, as many have described it, near brass level detail. Like, the amount of detail on this sucker is ridiculous. If you're thinking about getting a brass model, I would suggest, this is just a suggestion, I would suggest to look into this model just because there's so much freaking detail. Intermountain said that this was going to be the first and the last steam locomotive they did because they had so many problems with it. I wish they wouldn't do that because they did such a good job the third time around. The first few runs, if you guys remember, the first few runs of this locomotive had all sorts of quirky problems. They had people, I heard stories of the motor falling apart, just the motor breaking as soon as it got out of the box, or the drive wheels, the side rods would just pop off, all sorts of crazy crap. But I think, well, see, as far as I can tell, I've had this engine for almost a year now. I'll show you how much I've been slacking on the reviews. Intermountain has really stepped their game up and has done a fantastic job with all of the details. Is this going to sit here? Is it going to sit here? Oh my gosh, it is. Look at that. They have done a fantastic job really souping this sucker up and getting it up to par, because it was, honestly, it was not that way. I think, well, how long ago was it? About 3 years ago when the first run, actually no, the second run came out. And I almost bought one. Funny story about this engine. I almost bought this engine instead of the Daylight. And that would have actually been my first DCC steam locomotive with sound. But I'm so happy that I didn't, because the old ones had the Tsunami sound decoders. And although a lot of people like Tsunami sound, you know, that's great and all, Tsunami is actually way behind their times. In my opinion, they're actually one of the weaker decoders out there. Loc sound, in which you will soon hear, is far superior. The new QSI, I know in my videos I always say I hate QSI, but the new QSI decoders are actually really nice. And of course the TCS WOWs are #1 in the game. So I'm just going to slide this bad boy out. They give you a nice plastic protective case. Oop, I'm already taking it apart. Just going to take that off. Remember when I bought my Bachmann Spectrum, my first DCC locomotive? There's a Bachmann Spectrum 210-2. Yeah. And I was trying to, like, rip the engine out this way. I didn't realize, hey, stupid, there's a flap here that you lift up and then you pop this out. And then, whoa, check that out. You just take the engine out like that. Now, there are a lot of companies that have done the cab forward. And you know me, I always like to talk about the competitors and how they stack up. In my opinion, Intermountain makes the nicest cab forward, and what's interesting is that this one doesn't even smoke. And you guys know that most of my locomotives that I like to buy, steam locomotives anyway, they smoke. And this one doesn't, but I honestly don't believe that you really need that feature just because of the sheer awesomeness of this engine. The detail, as you can see, is immaculate. And now the camera's going out of focus as soon as I say that. Way to go. Okay, let's try to focus here. There we go. Look at that. Before I set this baby on the rails, just look at that. And now here's another really cool thing that they did, right? In a lot of locomotives, articulated locomotives specifically, well, obviously articulated locomotives, a lot of articulated locomotives that come out now, both of the sets of drivers are actually articulated on the frame, whereas in real life, it's prototypical for one set of drivers to be fixed to the boiler, and then the front set is normally, in this case, the back set. The front set or the back set it articulates. But if you buy an MTH model, or even, I believe, the Broadway Limited models, both sets of drivers are articulated from the frame. So, anyway, let's turn this sucker. Okay, now here's something I always wanted to do, even when I was a little kid. Like, I always wanted this engine as a child. I always wanted to take the cab forward and see what it would look like if you put the tender the right way. And you know what, just for shits and giggles, because I know a lot of you are probably curious about that. Okay, you see that? That's what it would look like. That looks pretty sweet. And actually, the Southern Pacific did have a cab forward that did that. That would be the AC-9. So I guess it wouldn't be a cab forward then, would it? It's just the AC-9 steam locomotive, but it looks really sweet. I actually might get one of those one day too. It would have been awesome if Intermountain had done one of those as well. But it pretty much looks like this, except it's got a cow catcher in the front instead of this long deck right here. And there's a headlight there and a few other details that are really different, but for the most part, you get the idea. That's what it would look like, but this is not how things work. Flip that around. So we're going to get more into the detail in a moment. We're just going to place this on the track. I just got number 4193. Now be very careful. In the instructions, it actually tells you how to hold this engine so the detail parts do not come off. I am an idiot and I did not read the instructions because I'm a man and I don't read instructions. But not only that, I'm just an idiot and I decided not to read the instructions. But I actually have a few pieces that are coming off, and holy crap, that's scaring me right now. I need to glue a few things back onto the frame because now this is coming off, which is really bad. I didn't even see that before. And I broke off the smokestack ventilation. There's a piece that goes up here. That's broken off. And then I think there was something else that was coming undone. But as you can see, all the pipes and valves and just cool stuff on here. This is one hell of a model. And we're going to get right into it in a moment. But in the meantime, I'm actually going to show you how to hook the tender up. So you've got what looks like a 9-pin. Yeah, I think it's a 9-pin decoder, and you're just gonna plug it here into the tender like so. It's actually really easy to get in and out. This is one of the few models I'm actually not afraid to take apart and put back in the box, just because of it's just so easy to slide in and out. It's not loose or anything. It's just really easy squeezy lemon peasy for you skeptics out there who are worried, as I am with my Broadway Limiteds. The Broadway Limiteds, when I take them out the box, they stay out the box. They never go back in. Okay. We are good to go. All right. So, how about we get to some details on this beautiful behemoth, huh? All right, guys. So don't worry. We'll get an aerial view of the cab forward as well, so you can see all the details on the top. But right now, we're just going to stick to this side of the locomotive. I'm going to show you what's going on here. Even got a little pointy stick for you. Cool. So, as I was saying before, you can see all the nice valve details. They did not spare anything on this model. I mean, they went, wherever you could stick detail, they could stick detail, they did it. They put it on this sucker, and it looks fabulous. Fabulous! Okay, so, looks really cool. They actually have stars. You can see here, they have stars on the drive wheels. The side rods look really nice. More pipe valve detail in here, if you can see all that. Should be able to. This thing, okay, I don't know if this is just on mine, but this pipe always likes to stick out on mine, and it has this spring attached to it, and it really scares me. It scared me when I first bought it, but I realized if you guys have that problem, you can just tuck it back in underneath, like so. Okay, don't go back in then. All right, yeah. It tucks in right underneath there. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. This camera's awesome. Hang on. Oh, no. Okay, we can't move over. All right, I see how it is. Just gonna do it like this. Okay, so this big pipe right here, right in here. I love the look of that, the way that just goes down. They have the cab forward. I didn't ever realize how many pipes this sucker had just going all over the place. I mean, the symmetry of the design of the pipe coordination on this sucker is just ridiculous. That sentence didn't make sense. Whatever, just accept it. Okay, so just the freaking pipes. Okay, I love pipes. I'm a steam locomotive. All steam locomotives need pipes. They're smokers. Okay, freaking love that. Just love how that goes down in there into the cylinders. All that cool stuff. The cylinders look awesome. I really, I want to weather this train, but at the same time, I'm really scared to weather it because I don't want to mess it up. And I've had like borderline accidents. I actually had to send my M1B back because I had a weathering mistake on that. So we're not going to talk about that any further. But other than that, let's go back over here. Let's go to the windows. The windows actually do open and close, but unfortunately, my window was broken out of the package and it's stuck inside. Like the rest of the window is stuck inside, and I'm not going in there to get it. I'm not taking this engine apart just to get the damn window. So the window's stuck in there. I might just have to put a piece of plastic over there and have it cracked open or something. But yes, the windows do slide open. Only on the side. I don't believe that the front ones do at all. No, they don't. The front ones are cracked, as you can see. They have the windshields here. The number boards, as you will see, they do light up. Obviously, you got the headlight. You got your horn here. KD couplers. I think these are number 5s. KD number 5s. What else do we have here? Oh, you do have a detailed interior, but you do not have cab figures. Of all things, right? How are you going to have an engine this nicely detailed, but no cab figures? That is seriously, that is one thing that confuses the hell out of me. Like, who in their right mind, whose idea was it to say, okay, guys, we're going to make the best cab forward out here on the market next to brass, but we're not putting interior cab figures? Like, I just don't see why you would do that. To me, it just doesn't make sense, but, you know, what are you going to do? You got some cool pipes running along here, you know, providing pipey stuff to the engine, and, yeah, you know, fireboxes in here. I love the design of the cab forward. I just think it's so cool. It's so cool. This cab in the front, man. Of course, I told you I wasn't really going to have many. There wasn't going to be much of a history lesson, but I do know one thing. The reason why, if you don't know that the cab forwards were even designed like this, was because on the line that these engines operated on the Southern Pacific, crews had to go through these really long tunnels, through the what loop is? I want to say, I'm probably going to get this wrong. What is it? The Tehachapi loop? Don't kill me. Don't freaking kill me. I'm praying that that's it. It's probably something else, but I think it's the Tehachapi loop or something like that. Anyway, locomotives had to go these really, really freaking long tunnels, and the crews would suffer asphyxiation because of the smoke exhaust from the smokestack, and sometimes the crews would pass out. I'm wondering how that would work. I wonder if it was just the engineer or the fireman or both, and like if the train was just running by itself for a while, like a cab forward out of control, just running down the track. Okay, my imagination is too wild. But anyway, that's someone had the bright idea of like, hey, there was, let's turn the engine around backwards and we can just run it cab forward. Get it? Yeah, you see what I did there. So, yeah, they did that, and cab forwards were used with those really long tunnel runs until diesel locomotives came along and replaced them, damn it. And the world's gone downhill ever since. So, yeah, diesel locomotives are the cause for all crime and evil in the world. Ever since the diesels took over, you can actually research it. The degradation of man has gone down. Everyone says it's prayer in schools, but it's actually the diesel locomotives that did it, you guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, so that aside, yeah, just some really cool details on the running board here, walkway. It actually does have safety tread, and there's actually some safety tread. Let me zoom out. Whoop, whoop. Can't scroll over. Okay, there's actually safety tread on the platform over here. On the top of the locomotive, as we can see here, we've got this really awesome red valve here. Looks cool. I believe these are the sand domes per. One of these is a sand dome, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me. I'm not familiar with my steam locomotive biology, unfortunately. This I know for a fact is the dynamo. Really cool. The whistle is located over here, and that looks sweet, even though you probably can't see that all that well. That's okay. We'll zoom in a little bit. Got some nice, the pop-off valves. These are nice brass pop-off valves. I don't know if they're actual brass or they're just painted that color. I think they just painted that color and they're made out of plastic. I should probably note, okay, the boiler is actually made out of plastic. However, this engine weighs a ton. I'm pretty sure that the actual frame is die-cast metal with how heavy this sucker is. If it's not, which I know it obviously is, but if it's not, it feels like a die-cast metal model. This sucker probably weighs about as much as my big boy, if not more. Speaking of which, I had to put the big boy back in the shop, just on a side, unrelated note. You've got your handrails, or your grab irons here. Those are real cool. I think these feel like die-cast metal, so they're probably die-cast metal. We're going to go with die-cast metal. Sound good? Cool. So those are die-cast metal. What else do we have here? Just a bunch of really cool stuff. A lot of this, it's separately applied detail. It's not a lot of molded in crap. It is separately applied, which is what makes this engine look awesome. And we're going to just do this real quick. Yeah, you can get a really nice look at that piping. detail, the pipes coming along the side here, and that whistle. It even has a little cord there. That is sharp. I like that. And like I said, there's a piece that spans the border from here to here. I believe it's like a smoke ventilation, or that's the word I'm looking, not ventilation. It's smoke, smokestack filter of some kind. This is what it looks like, or it's just there for show. I've seen some cab forwards with it. I've seen some without it. But those are models. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure if the prototype had to have that piece across there or not, but mine broke off. I'm going to try to glue it back on at some point. That's going to be a pain in the butt. This, I don't know what this is, but it's there and it comes off, but it's really cool. And then we got more valves and stuff I'm going to show you in a second when we move over. But now, while we're up close and personal, you can get a closer look at this pipe detail. This is all plastic in here. None of this is die-cast metal. None of these pipes and valves are die-cast, but they look fabulous, and I really, really, really freaking love the way this cab forward looks and all the detail that they put on here. But let's move over a little bit, shall we? Moving right along to the front of the smoke box, which is an area that I absolutely love. This is one thing that I really like, and MTH does this too, and I love it. Some companies don't, some do, but I really love this. When you have the valves, okay, when they paint the valves red like that, not everyone does that, and it's not necessarily even prototypical, because you look at certain locomotives like the Big Boy, like on MTH's Big Boy, there are valves that are on the side of the smoke box are painted red, whereas on the real Big Boys, at least from the Pentrax videos that I have, they are not painted red. I don't give a damn. I think on the cab forwards, they were painted red. They should have been. I'm pretty sure that's so that it's easier for the crews to spot, obviously, but I really like the way that just pops amongst all the black and the gray. It looks beautiful. Like I said, safety tread on the platform here, safety tread on the walkways, and just the way that this sucker looks, it just looks mean. Like most steam locomotives, when you look at them, they got a smile on their face. No, not the cab forward. The cab forward is a rugged piece of machinery. It does not smile. You know, most articulated engines don't smile. It's like only on the Norfolk and Western. Like, those engines are so happy, except for the J-Class. The J-Class is just, he is such a stern guy. He's such a hard guy to read, you know. Just that elongated smoke box that the J has. Anyway, I'm getting way off topic here. You do have, and I will show you this, you do have the, what do you call this thing? The thingy? The bar? The Johnson bar? That's not the Johnson bar, stupid. This is your, guys, I had a total mind fart right now. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. This review has just gone to hell. I am so sorry. The bar that allows you to walk normally from the cab to the tender, but from here is from the smoke box to the tender. I'm sorry, I cannot think of what the bar's name is. The drawbar. Oh my god, it's the drawbar. It's the drawbar. Just, you know what? Just go to the next clip. Go to the next clip. Let's look at this. As I was saying before, obviously an oil tender. Cab forwards didn't run on coal or even wood. Wood was way, way out of the picture by this point in time when this locomotive was built. But anyway, oil tender. That's the cap right there. Install the oil. The cool thing about the tender, though, on the top is this. The hatches for the water open up. There are no volume controls or anything in here like the MTHs, but it's just cool how they have that. They just put the little detail. They didn't even have to do that, but they put the little feature in. I think it was really sweet of them to do that. So, yeah, now you get a decent look at the rear of the tender as well. So, you get a decent look at the back of the tender. You know, you got your reverse light here, telling you how many gallons are there. Ladder, KD number 5 coupler. All the good stuff. Grab irons. It just looks sweet. I love it. I love everything about this freaking engine. And I think it's time. I think it's that time where we just talk about, you know, some of the minor things like how awesome the sounds are, and, you know, the chuff rate and all the awesome things that make life work with this engine. Yeah. So anyway, let's go into some of the sounds. Let me tell you, I am so much happier to be doing these reviews with an HD camera. So happy to be doing these reviews for you guys again. I know it's been a while. Once again, sorry for that. Anyway, sounds. You guys know. I love my sounds. Gotta have prototypical sounds, gotta have nice sounds. The one thing that I was concerned about this model before I bought it was how does the locomotive sound? What's the whistle like? Do you have double chuff? And if you do have the double chuff for both exhausts, does the chuff go in and out of sync? Do you have the appropriate air compressors that are distinctive of the cab forward? The locomotive has all that stuff. My good friend RC Grabbag, he's a guy on YouTube. Check out his videos. He actually, when we were on the model railroad forums, and he told me, he's like, railroad kid, the locomotive actually has a prototypical whistle. The chuffs go in and out of sync, and you can set the chuff rate so you can get the right amount of chuffs. Mine's still a bit off, but for some reason with this model, it doesn't look weird. Like, it looks right. It's so freaking close that even I almost can't tell when I'm looking, like if I'm looking at it at an angle. Not really focusing on the wheels too much, but it looks fantastic. Let's get into the sounds, though. We're going to fire it up. Like I said, you have the loc sound decoder, and it's going to take a second for those air compressors to pop on. Just give it a moment. Much improved over the Tsunami decoders. The air compressors are a lot more sporadic, a little bit more random. What did I say? The Tsunami's just, it was kind of bland, really quiet. These are loud, as you can tell. But that's not why I love this locomotive. I love this locomotive because of just all the awesome features that it has, like your bell, obviously. The whistle, which I've fallen absolutely in love with. Now, just like Broadway Limited, they have like a little quilling feature that goes at the end of the whistle, depending on how you press the whistle on your throttle. Yeah, it does that too. It's a little noisy. You also have a short whistle. Actually, that's the horn. My bad. This is the short whistle. Function 4 is the short whistle. I like how it echoes out, but you have a horn as well. I was getting into with that whistle. Function 5, I'm not entirely sure what that does. I think that's your coupler being set. Function 6, and I think that's your water injector. Pretty sure it's your water injector. Function 7 we'll go over in a second. That's for your marker lights. But I'm going to show you the lights on this. I'm going to actually dim the lights in the room, but I will show you the lights on the sucker. The headlight as well is orange. It's an orange LED. Some people might not like it. I do. That's okay for steam locomotives, but it's a really, really bright orange. Not bright, it's a dark, actually it's a really dark orange, but it's bright as all hell. Crazy. There is some crew talk on here, which is function 15, but I'm using one of the older Digitrax throttles. I can't remember how to hit the extended functions. But you got a bunch of cool stuff on here. I'm going to let you guys explore it yourself. What I will show you how to do, however, is program all the different whistles. We're going to get into that in a second. But before we do that, I am going to show you what the lights look like in the dark. I think you guys are going to enjoy that. Headlight. Marker lights. You can hear that nice steam generator too. Sounds really freaking awesome. Hear the dynamo winding down. Okay, so the chuffs. Let's go over that real quick. I forget the CV values that you have to set it to get the chuff rate properly, but I do know that to get mine the way that it is now, I set it to value 180. So CV whatever to value 180, you will get it synced the way I have it. Oh yeah, it does that. It does a skull sound effect when you change directions instead of the Johnson bar, but it sounds really freaking cool. Anyway, yeah, figure out that CV and just set it to 180, and you'll be able to, like I said, you'll be able to see the wheels better in action when I actually have this sucker flying down the track instead of just here on the siding going back and forth. You can see it's pretty dang close. Okay. Lastly, let's go over the different whistles that you have installed on this sucker. Okay, see, I believe the only way I'm going to be able to program this thing is on the program track. I just want to program on the main. So I got my throttle plugged in. We're going to just do program PG. And then we're going to enter value 0. Enter. Looks like it accepted it, and we'll see if that did it. All right, guys. Alright guys, so a couple more things I want to say about this engine before we move on to the running part of the video. How do I feel about it compared to others, other manufacturers? MTH, Broadway Limited. Broadway Limited is nice. Their newest run of the Paragon 2 cab forwards have the nice air compressor sounds that the cab forward should have. MTHs have them as well. But I think in terms of detail, your best option is Intermountain, and it's probably going to be around the same price. It's going to be in between a Broadway Limited and an MTH if you go to the right place. Other thing, the sounds are phenomenal. I think compared to TCS Wild Sounds, these guys are probably second best in the market at the moment with the number of whistles that you get, the variety that you get from it, and the quality. I think that it's absolutely superb, and I love the sound of these whistles, as well as the chuffing. The chuffing goes in and out of sync, and it actually has motor load compensation, so if this engine were running, I were to hold it right here, or if I were to hold it by the wheels, which I do not suggest, the chuffing would stop, which is absolutely fantastic. So you're getting the most prototypical chuff you can. All in all, fantastic locomotive. I recommend it to anyone who's going to go out and get one. Anyway, enough of me talking. Let's go into this and see this sucker run around the layout a bit, okay? Alright guys, so that about wraps up this review of the cab forward. I hope you enjoyed it. There should be more videos on the way soon. Please, as always, leave comments below, critiques, questions, whatever. I always appreciate all the feedback. Oh, and if you could, at the least, give this video a thumbs up and also a like if you have the chance. Just real quick, it takes like 2 seconds, and it also helps put this video up there in the search engine so other awesome people like you can go and see it. Anyway, I'm going to sign out. I don't think there's really much else I have to say about the cab forward other than it's freaking sweet. You need to buy one if you don't have one, as always. But I always say about all the stuff I buy. Anything I buy, you buy, okay? And go to my man Scott and Making Tracks. Shameless plug. There it is. Bob, I'm going to have probably the logo somewhere in the video. So, and his number, all that good stuff. Anyway, as always, Railroad Kid 1937 signing out. Peace. God bless. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all later.